I'm Elizabeth Lincecum, Communications Director at the North Carolina Institute for Constitutional Law. Welcome back to our series, Cornerstone Commentaries. Today our guest is Senior Staff Attorney Jason Kay, who will discuss occupational licensing in North Carolina.
So what is occupational licensing and why is it important? Occupational licensing is when the government comes in and begins to regulate how a profession conducts its business, like with doctors or lawyers or some other professions that you may not think a lot about, like barbers or hair braiders. When the government does that, it in effect forces business professionals to comply with government regulations for health and safety reasons or for other causes. And it imposes a cost on the professional as they do their business. They have to pay the licensing fee, they have to keep their license up year after year, and those costs are transferred to the consumer. So they wind up paying a higher cost in the end. It also imposes costs on government. Somebody at government has to write the regulations, decide what they're going to be, and enforce them. So citizens pay more for it as a whole by increased tax burden. Well, some on the pro-regulation side would say this is necessary because you have to get in and help people make sure that they're practicing the profession in a competent way. You don't want doctors or lawyers or barbers being incompetent or unhealthy in the way that they practice their profession. Well, on the other side of the equation, though, is the free market consideration when you consider that if professionals are not doing a good job, they're going to go out of business. They're not going to have people come to their offices and request their services. And the market regulates those people without a higher cost to the consumer and without a higher cost in government. In North Carolina, as a constitutional matter, we used to consider this to be a fairly off-limits area of regulation. It wasn't proper for government to get in and regulate. Over the years, we've become more tolerant, but perhaps not mindful of the fact that it does impose costs on people who seek services and on the government who has to provide that regulation.
Thank you for joining us, and remember, the Constitution is the cornerstone of all law.